Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the American Civil War mod. Last time around we actually won the campaign by taking Quebec, but obviously that's not how I'm going to end it. We're gonna have to end the Union for that. So this time around I have prepared well enough for our attack. And I don't think I can wait any longer. We don't know when. I don't know actually when it's gonna switch over to 1863. So we're gonna have to declare war right now. The only thing is that Great Britain is allied with the United States. So I'm not entirely sure how that will work out. Hopefully they're not gonna join, but most likely they are because they're a good relationship with them, so most likely we're gonna see a war there, and so we're gonna lose quite a bit of money here. So currently I only make about 8,200 each turn, which I am about to lose trade value to the value of about, oh, you know what, 7,000 in trade value, 4,000 of which is going to the United States and about 3,000 to Great Britain. So we're gonna take a pretty heavy hit there, and there's not gonna be we're gonna have to probably cut down on troops here and there, but that's what we're gonna have to do because we intend to destroy them once and for all. We will call our allies to battle, and Great Britain cancel its trade and joins, which is not good, but I intend to give over Quebec region to them, so hopefully it's gonna go pretty well. Oh shit, it's a pretty big stack actually. I'm gonna move these guys over. Most likely we're gonna be forced out of this region pretty darn soon, so I want to make sure that this actually joins this army before we go ahead and do that. Jackson can advance, but I think he's just about almost reaching. Yeah, there's not going to be a fight. I want to move as many troops as I can before there's actually a fight. This region actually is holding up pretty well, so I think I can delete a few units. 3, so that will save me a little bit of money. How much money? 5,000. So the hit wasn't actually that bad, apparently. I guess the goods were picked up by other nations. And we're gonna move Pickett over. He's gonna move within range of the enemy. Lee is gonna move in between, and he's gonna be able to strike here, while Pickett is gonna move towards Boston. So we've got Pickett towards Boston, Lee towards Albany, New York. We've got Conrad Blackmore moving towards Maine. He's going to have a hard time because he's going to have to fight this one, which is a lot larger unit than he has, but he has a ton of cannons, so that should be fine. Jackson also has quite a lot of troops in his way, but this army is mostly made up of generals, but what you can also see is it's mostly made up of artillery. Shit ton of artillery. And then we obviously don't have to forget that we're going to have to move against Yankton, Nebraska. But I think we'll move here first before we move towards any other region. And let's see. Oh, he actually strikes. And you know what? I think there's going to be a branch battle, and we're not going to make the same mistake as last time. And I think I could out-resolve this, but you know what? Let's fight this one. Turns out there wasn't actually a bridge, which I'm kind of relieved of, actually, that we don't have to fight in a bottleneck like that. I've got 4 brigades, 1 unit in reserve, tons of 12-pounder Napoleons, and with that, let's go ahead and start it. And you know what? Let it rip. Let the artillery blast the enemy as they are blasting us. And we'll start advancing the brigade And here comes our artillery barrage. Smashing through the lines and into the enemy cannons and all their cavalry. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the different brigades. So we've got the orphans. And then we have Greg's. I mean, all the Confederate troops kind of look the same, so it's not that much to look at. Tell Greg's to hold. The volunteer, however, will continue for a little bit, or at least some of them. We've got Lee and a cavalry unit coming in to support. Oh, I stopped part of the Orphan Brigade, actually. Orphan, then Greg's. Then we forgot to move this one. Should come up there. Oh, this one has already lost 100 men. Jesus Christ. What is going on? And this one also. And this one almost as well. How come I have lost so many bloody men? They start off with 300. I guess the enemy got the first shot off. Guys, get into position. Lee, you might not want to ride straight into it. Oh! Tons of artillery in firing flank onto us. Gonna have to deal with that. Sending my cavalry over there. I think we'll be able to deal with this one just with the infantry, as we have defeated this volunteer unit. And looks my artillery as well as defeat these guys. Right, get up on that hill and forward the troops a bit. I think most likely was the enemy howitzers that caused so much casualties on my infantry. Yeah, they're firing right here in the corner, so they're hitting both units. So causing tons of casualties there. However, my infantry is just about to... they're within reach. Hold here and take on the volunteers. It's a bit crappy to be in flank position when the cannons are able to drop cannons right down upon us. Half that cavalry unit was already killed. Not entirely sure if the 66th volunteer infantry will stand. Most of the enemy line infantry units have been defeated at this point, but look at the casualties. A lot of these units have lost half their men. Just to... oh shit, my bloody cavalry. No. Oh, they fired canister. God damn it. Absolutely killing that unit. And that was part of Lee's army. Seems like these guys are done for. The volunteers will hurry forward and try to get these. And finally the enemy is done for. How far can my Napoleons fire? I want the Napoleons to target this way. Right, the cannons are running away as well. We've got one unit coming back though. So let's see, we have 3 volunteers here. They will advance to take on this guy. The Orphan Brigade coming up the center. Greg's coming up here. And the volunteers. If we can hurry into the forest, that would be nice. We'll hold fire with the cannons, tell them to open fire again. We've got one of Lee's cannons I can draw it towards here and we can have a bit of a cannon duel and also try to kill off these guys. Lee can be on this hill overviewing the battle and his troops coming in to reinforce. Jesus Christ, I lost a lot of men. You know what, we're gonna have to deploy this one reserve unit as well. Might as well send him in at this point, since we lost so many bloody men. So the invasion of the north did not start off that great. Got tons of artillery shots coming in though. Okay, the guys in the forest, you're gonna have to get into position real quick. They're charging! Hurry, get into position. They're not gonna be able to fire in time, are they? No. The volunteers were overrun. However, I've got a second line ready to help out. The problem is, of course, that second line will open fire into the first line. Oh, the cavalry charged in. The forest is lost. Greg's brigade has just turned up. This volunteer unit will retreat straight through Greg's and then redeploy on this side. And I need to deploy the cannon now. The volunteers over here will move forwards. The orphans will move into the open and ready to shoot these guys down. So with 2 Confederate units retreating, with loads of Union troops following as they took the forest from us. Come on then! No one can beat Greg's brigade. I believe we just shot down a Union general that was trying to steal this Confederate battle flag. He rides away as he's the lone survivor of that. And just in time, we've got the Orphan Brigade turning up to aid and push fire down upon the Union. Now they did take the forest, but it was at a heavy cost for them. And with prepared lines on the other side of the forest, they got absolutely massacred out here in the field. We've got one Union. It's the bloody German New York bastards. Don't like the cannons. We'll tell them to hold fire, at least some of the cannons. The howitzer will still fire. Okay, these guys are gone. So we'll wheel the Orphan Brigade. The reserve units coming in. I believe I can place them on the hill here, firing overhead onto the Germans. And Greg's will advance towards the enemy cannons. We do have, I think it's cavalry? Yes, cavalry. Come on, break those bloody Germans. You would think that the advantage we have, we might charge. But I fear that against the Germans, we've seen how well they fight in melee, especially against my volunteers, so we'll murder them by gunfire instead. And now they are basically kind of surrounded, almost. So it's not going to go too well for them. Getting cut down. Well, we lost a lot of men in this battle. My Napoleon guns don't reach. However, the howitzer do reach. And they are able to take quite a chunk out of this artillery piece. However, it is a bloody... it's a Napoleon. As I'm lucky then. The Orphan Brigade will advance. The Volunteer Brigade will advance. The Reserve Unit will advance. And everything should be hunky-dory. We lost one of our brigades though, which is not nice. And hopefully there isn't a large amount of Union troops waiting for us as we approach Boston. But I guess that would be wishful thinking at this point. It's really the cavalry unit we want to hit with the artillery shots. But if I tell the artillery to target them, pure the AI logic of Empire, they will charge. The problem is going to be when we get close to these 12-pounders, because they will just murder us with canister, as we saw they did to my cavalry unit over here, which I forgot. And they, yeah, they lost a lot of men. We could see about relocating my own cavalry, my own cannons, but I think that would be, it would probably be too late. Oh, the enemy is retreating, just due to, I guess, the fire of the howitzer, and they've decided to run, and we have taken the field. But I imagine this was a costly victory. But we have the field, and we captured the bridge, so the road to Boston should be open, unless they've got an army there blocking our way. So let's go ahead and end and take a look at the statistics of this battle. And here we have the statistics, so it actually puts all the men that were within reinforcement range, which was 9,000. We lost 13, 1,300, almost 400 men, 1,400 men, which is quite a lot. And the enemy actually retained 700, which is quite substantial. So it only actually, you can see that it actually only differs by 300. It's 69 at the end on both here, so 300 difference, which is not that great. Lost the most Confederate volunteer infantry, or lost almost all units, and then not that bad, but a lot of these veteran brigades, or a lot of these special brigades, the orphans and Greg's, lost about half their unit, which is not great. A large part was the Partisan Rangers, 121, and they're not that good, so it doesn't matter that much. Right, the enemy was forced away, and they have set up in New Haven, Classical University. We will push forward, and then we can go to Hartford, and then on to Springfield, and from Springfield, oh, Providence has just opened up, and then we've got Boston. Lee is really close to his objective, which is Albany, New York.
Can't do that, sir.
And it's got quite a force beyond here. We've got the Pennsylvania, Bucktails, 20th Maine, and the 54th Massachusetts. And there's another army over there, so they could combine their force there.
Sir.
And Lee did lose quite a lot of his Partisan Rangers there. Not good. Oh yeah, the Partisan Ranger was part of this army, not this army. And then Jackson has to fight over here. Do I dare move? I don't think we have time for another battle. What units have I not moved? So I moved these and move that one. What I need to move is this one over here. And I can try to bypass them, but that's a fool's errand, so I guess we go straight for it. And what I'll do is I'll leave it here, and so for the next episode we'll break down this army. So yeah, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!